Okay, we got breaking news in fantasy football land regarding Raiders running back Ashton Genty. First tweet I saw, bad news. Ashton Genty got hurt in practice today, could not put pressure on his leg when leaving the field. Afterward, the Raiders gathered as a team to acknowledge the injury with a moment. And then some more color we got there was Raiders running back Ashton Genty left practice early today with an apparent injury. He dove for a ball that was beyond him during team period and went down awkwardly. He was helped off the field by trainers, unable to put weight on his right leg, and he did not return. So, I mean, this is unprecedented a little bit as far as what to do. Personally, I'm probably not going to draft him right now until we get more information. In these lower buy-in, high stakes, high potential buy-in, such as BBM, the DK Millie, etc. Third round Genty, fourth round Genty, until we learn more, seems reasonable. If we get the news, tough break for this guy here. If we get the news that Genty is totally fine, okay, he's not going to fall that much, but you are potentially drafting a guy out for the year right now. Okay, let's just call a spade a spade. I don't know where it goes from here. You don't know. None of us really know, but I would not be gung-ho about drafting him. Obviously, if it is confirmed that Genty is out for the year, Mike Washington probably will start to be drafted around this tier of guys. In Bucky Irving, Montgomery, Henderson, Price, Judkins, Scatabo. Would expect the Raiders to make some moves at running back. It would obviously hurt the whole offense overall, and would be one of the first preseason serious injuries for a major running back in some time. Like, if we don't count the CMC on again, off again 2 years ago, we haven't really seen this in 6 years, 7 years. So yeah, I would be drafting Mike Washington higher in drafts. I'm personally probably not going to draft Genty. As you can tell, most people are just not hip to the news. I always, when there's a serious injury like this, I tag my Discord with the @everyone tag. Another reason you should, I tweeted it as well, but you should be in my Discord. Link to join is below. But yeah, you see, I tag them @everyone, just wanting people to be aware, because, this is a high volume time of drafts. So yeah, sorry if you got a bunch of Genty. If you got a bunch of Mike Washington, is feeling awesome. I personally think, Mike Washington was a talented guy, but I wasn't really agreeing with people that he was like the smash of all handcuffs, because the offense is probably just not that good. I think he can inherit a lot of work. He's broken off a couple long touchdown runs in the preseason, but yeah, that's where we're at. How far do we pull Mike Washington now? So if he's going to end as a 6th round pick, you should not draft him in the 6th round. Again, you're playing chicken with the rest of the room. So for me, probably around, you try to get him around this tier of guys currently. Krosky, Merritt, Gainwell, Corum, Chuba, Dobbins. Like, he's obviously a better pick than those guys and some of the guys who goes ahead of him. But again, you're playing chicken with the room. Like, do other people know that he's out for the year? Maybe, Genty. So yeah, if you're on the clock, pick 30, are you taking Genty right now? Well, the answer there is sometimes yes. Like, if Genty falls to the 3rd before we get an update, will I take him sometimes? And the answer is, of course, yes. I do so much Loveland because he's the best pick. Let's do Swift today. A little 1v1 on my own Loveland teams. Josh Allen, Cook, Achane all play each other week 17. Yeah. Slow draft, Mike Washington, probably a smash there. No, nothing has been confirmed on Genty. If you want to just sit out of drafts right now and wait until we get clarity, I wouldn't imagine it's that long. Probably by tomorrow is my estimation. For the beatbestball.com subs, I pushed out updated Best Ball Mania, DraftKings rankings, and drafters earlier today. I also wrote an article, it's not a long article, but just trying to provide clarity of what I'm trying to do at the back end. All of that is live at beatbestball.com. Yeah, I think Genty at 27 is probably a mistake because in no way do I think Genty's going to play week 1 now. Okay. Like, let's just assume he's not playing week 1. If he's not playing week 1, he is no longer going to be a 1-2 turn pick. He will probably be a 2-3 turn pick. So you're taking him where he's going to go if we get optimistic reporting in my mind. Maybe 19, maybe like after this tier guys, we'll just go to the back end. Yeah, obviously at 120 I would. How much Genty do I have? I got some Genty, obviously. Would draft him every time in the second, but all else equal, like I had him behind Jefferson, Lamb, Cook, CMC. So, and I don't have I got some Mike Washington. We'll just sort for Best Ball Mania exposure. I'm sure I got some high stakes with Genty. Let's see. Genty, I have 11% in BBM. So, sucks for those teams. Obviously, many of the Genty teams, he was like an anchor. Let's see. Mike Washington, very little on Underdog, more on DK. Yeah, well, I'm sorry, but going out of your way and jamming Genty was never a good strategy. Let's go Rome. First wide out here. See, before DJ Moore played that preseason game, this was DJ Moore, but pretty rare to get him now. Just rewind. Rewind to the beginning. He's hurt. Ashton Jeanty is hurt, maybe very serious. I don't know. The team did a prayer for him. It sounds like. This guy added some context. We're not going to watch the video. What you never want to hear, suffers leg injury, teammates in stunned silence. Diving for a catch and landed awkwardly. I mean, diving for a catch, that makes me feel kind of good. That's not serious, but it's like, oh, he's diving for a catch. But yeah, everything else makes me feel very bad. I have so little Tyler Warren. Sure. We got one wide receiver, 3 running backs, a quarterback, and a tight end. I mean, people are saying someone took Mike Washington at pick 60, a pick 93. Obviously, some people are a lot less chill than others. Or some people just don't have any Mike Washington, so they're going to try to fix it at all costs. But yeah, if you're playing this well, you're not going to get Mike Washington in every draft, but you're going to get the best price on him. You're hearing torn ACL? I mean, we don't know. If we already got that news, I'd be surprised. I think there is let's see. Davis watched or Jacob watched this video. Says in here that it was a contact injury. If you want to cope, that doesn't sound like a typical ACL, but it could be PCL. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The Twitter doctors haven't even picked it up yet. I have no thoughts on whether Miles Sanders, Kareem Hunt, or Mostert will land with the Raiders. You know, guys, I'm just like you. We got this information, we're reacting to it. How would I have inside information if Kareem Hunt's gonna go land with the Raiders? You know? James Conner, yeah. You know what could make a lot of sense? Trading for Tyrone Tracy. Tyrone Tracy had to bury him in the ranks, but I still think there's outs to him getting traded. Tough, though. Tough news. Okay, let's get some wideouts on the squad. Diggs. Yes, it could be a bone bruise or fracture, sure. Joe Mixon's probably not playing football again. I'll get stuff on the shelf. You guys let me know if we get any more news reported on Genty. Obviously, while I'm drafting. Man, it gets dire at wide receiver. I'm going to take Harvey. We'll figure out wide receiver in the end, I guess. No, I will not be lowering Bowers because of this. But yeah, it's probably, look, hey, running backs are not that important for winning. So this guy's probably just a casual in general. Alec Pierce, Genty, tough combo. More positive news. Parker Washington's returned to practice. I'm trying to find more Genty news. One Twitter doctor says, praying it's just a hyperextension or MCL, but sometimes these contact injuries can be ACL plus or fracture. So, I mean, what's the I don't even know what the positive timeline is. You joke, but a lot of football players don't like to wear knee pads because it slows them down. Best case scenarios, he has the Monangai injury. Yeah, that one seems bad too. Not a player I'm drafting a ton of. I don't know, guys. It's not with where we stand today. It's bad. I'm gonna take Mike Washington now. Um, seems like this will be CLV. Fifth and final running back, pick 105. I don't have a ton of Mike Washington, so would rather get him now before he goes up here. I probably just blew this guy's mind. He's like, what the hell? Why did someone just take Mike Washington? There's no real right time to be taking a player who, I mean, worst case, Mike Washington is terrible here, you know? Am I scared off Jeremiah Love at all? No, I would draft a lot of Jeremiah Love still. Obviously, the range of outcomes have gotten a little bit more negative. So definitely done at 5 running backs. Genty went 12 here. Obviously, someone that just didn't know what's up. I want Kincaid, but we are so down bad at wideout, and Matthew Golden offers juice at wideout, so gonna do that. Josh Allen, Cook, Achane, Swift, Harvey, Mike Washington, Rome Diggs, Golden, Tyler Warren. No. If Genty was 100%, Mike Washington at 105 is terrible. Yeah, I do think it was kind of bad that Mike Washington jumped a bunch of spots just because he proved serviceable in the preseason, but that's how the game goes. Yeah, I mean, the people in my Discord and online immediately being like, X% Mike Washington, X% Genty. It's okay if you just don't share that immediately. You know? Someone asked me my Genty exposure, otherwise I would not have said it. Thank you, sir. I mean, Mike Washington definitely could be Zamir White. I don't claim to know the most about him. I think I got him at a really attractive range in the draft. It's like over Chuba, Monangai, Rashad White. Let's go. Of course, Genty could be fine. That doesn't even need to be asked. But with what we know right now, I would not advise drafting him often. Yeah, the other running backs on the Raiders is Roman Hemby, undrafted free agent, Dylan Lobby, and Daria Gumbuale, pass catching guys. Kincaid and Shakir go. It's okay. You can always backstack Josh Allen. Let's do Malik first. Be done at quarterback. These guys play each other week 17, but I don't mind it. Kalen Black could land with the Raiders. Seems like he might get cut. God, the quarterback prices have been weird today with the casuals. Goff and Stafford in particular are falling a lot. Not surprised the guy who doesn't know Genty out is drafting Isaiah Likely. Did I say Kalen Black? I meant I did not mean Kalen Black. Who did I mean? The Raiders guy, or not the Raiders, let's make this pick. Cokeheads. Why can I not think of his name? Steelers, Caleb Johnson. I meant Caleb Johnson, not Caleb Black. I'm sorry, guys. I'm tired. Caleb Johnson is who I meant. Yeah, Caleb Johnson might get cut. Seems likely to. But he could end up on the Raiders, right? That was a strategy to get interaction in the chat. No, not true at all. I was just tired. Hey, man. That's growth. That's growth, right? It's okay. Hey, and no one's saying you can't be like if you got 20% Mike Washington, you are allowed to be excited, right? But there's a difference between like you got to read the room a little bit and understand when others are mourning. You know what I mean? Some people feel like their season just ended. Let's put it that way. But yeah, of course it's too early. No one knows. No one knows anything except for the people who are actually at that practice right now. Twitter doctor said, not what I like to hear. Doesn't sound good. Hard to speculate without the video, but the diving makes the mind go to PCL fracture or hyperextension if he was stumbling. But yeah, everyone's circling back to the team reaction. Now some teams are just a little bit more kumbaya, you know? Let's get those questions out later until we actually have news on. I took Mike Washington here. I told you where I think he's going to go if Genty's out for the season. Jesus, man. It is just a dire cast of players at this point. Jalen McMillan. I actually like him a little bit. Yeah, but I do think there's an on the field ACL test that's pretty accurate. So Davis has been known to be more reactionary than most. Love Davis. Just don't think he's the best guy to tell you where a player should be drafted. He tends to be the one who will overdraft them. I can remember the year Cam Akers tore his ACL, and at the time I wasn't making content, but Davis was. I need wideouts the most, so let's do Wicks today. Davis was the guy who was advocating for Darrell Henderson at the fourth round or something, which I was firmly against because that's the thing about Mike Washington is even if he's a good pick, he's got to realize, and he's not a 100% drafted player, but it's tough to beat a Mike Washington 18th round team. You know? I'm a vibes drafter too, you know? I think you should be vibes drafting to a degree. So, is that a joke about what I said? Kalen Black is okay. Steelers third round pick last year. Oh, I can't remember his name again. Not okay. That guy's not okay, but he might end up okay. I think it's already been a decent year for a zero running back. Caleb Johnson, thank you. It's already a decent year for the zero running back targets, in my opinion. But of course, running back logically is the position that is the most the benefit if a serious injury happens. So this team is for sure dead. He's building like Genty is part of the core three running backs, and that's unlikely. Rebecca Black is doing okay as well. Is there a rule of thumb in your opinion on how much exposure is too much for a single player? No, especially if they're cheap. 2x the field is what some people are comfortable with. Jack Black's doing okay too. Mike Washington at pick 70. Again, that person, there's a lot of people who don't understand what to do with the news. Some people think the goal is to just draft the player who benefits from the news. Ooh, missed out on a Malik stacking partner there. Okay. TJ Hawkinson. Don't really like him, but what are you going to do? Yeah, some people think that the aim is just Mike Washington maybe starter, must draft player. They're not thinking about what price do I get the player? I was thinking about Mike Washington at pick 88. In no universe did I want to take him there because I want to get him at a cheaper price. And there's going to be a wide range of where he goes in your drafts. He's going to go in the 13th round sometimes. He's going to go pick 70 sometimes. Could have taken Dulcich, but just think he's a worse bet. It's okay to take a day off. especially if you already have a lot of Mike Washington. Okay, we're going to take Chris Bell here to stack with Willis. Could be a 0. Could be a smash. I don't know. Squad right now: Cook, Achane, Josh, Swift, Rome, Warren, Diggs, Harvey, Washington, Golden, Willis, Coker, McMillan, Wicks, Hawkinson, Chris Bell. Oh, I didn't see that. Well, the entire team taken, and he told me everything. Again, like, I think this could be a team by team basis. It could be because they understand how valuable he is to the team. I don't know. Thank you, sir. I'm quite excited for this season, personally. I understand if you have a ton of Genty, how that can make you feel that way, but that is not how I feel. And you can still win Best Ball Mania or the DK Millie with a Genty team if he is a 0. Is it harder? Yes. Is it possible? Yes. I mean, it is a good case study at least. How low can Genty go before we actually get news? It would require like 12 people in a lobby to even know, you know? Would you take Tyson in the 12th? He's another guy. It's like, yeah, his upside's huge. And yes, I would take him. Let's get Keon on the squad. Wide receiver is pretty dire in these late rounds. What's your Judkins take? I like the player last year. I barely drafted him this year. Bad team, most likely. 2-down grinder coming off serious injury. I have them ranked next to each other, DJ Moore and Parker Washington, so I think both are good clicks. I don't just do this. If you want me to rate your team, it's a super chat. Otherwise, we keep it moving here. Let's add Josh Palmer. There was some positive buzz for Skylar Bell, so he's not dead. Let me actually pull that up and read it. This was via The Athletic. He still seems like he is behind. What the heck? Let me just sign in. Okay, for some reason I'm only signed in on my phone. Is Hutchinson dead after the Zay Jones and Shepard signings? I mean, he was never a good pick to begin. Just almost no upside. But he and Kayshon Boutte could land there. Okay, let's see. No, it wasn't that article. Okay, Skylar Bell. Here's what he said via Joe Buscaglia of The Athletic. After the Bills' preseason opener, Brady gave a somewhat encouraging update on rookie wide receiver Skyler Bell, saying they hope to get him on the field for practice this week. The practice week is now over, and Bell didn't get back the way they hoped. However, with the entire team on the other field, Bell snuck out of the locker room and began running drills in the distance. This is the first time we've seen Bell since he suffered a lower body injury, suffered a groin injury. So really just, there's actually not a positive blurb. It's just he's not as hurt anymore. Okay, so the team finished up for me. Josh Allen and Malik, strong quarterback team. Cook, Achane, Swift, Harvey, Mike Washington, Rome, Diggs, Golden, Coker, McMillan, Wicks, Chris Bell, Keon Palmer. My God, if this wide receiver room wins Best Ball Mania, people are going to lose their minds. I mean, 3 upside bets in some facet of it. Rome, Diggs, and Golden. Some guys who are going to be out there, I also think they're upside. Coker, McMillan, Wicks. Chris Bell, stacks, swing for upside. Keon and Palmer, hoping for points there. Tyler Warren's a good tight end. Basically, going to need Josh to be awesome, the running backs to be awesome, and get enough at wideout. Okay, let's draft another. Uh-oh. Looks like we autoed one. Let's turn that off, auto. Got 500 of you in the chat on this lovely Sunday. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Appreciate y'all. Drafting out of the 109 today. Do I think Keon plays week 1? I'm not 100% sure. His foot's in a air cast. Doesn't seem that serious, though. I think this is the wrong take. Saving a lot of bullets for late August is mandatory. Like, I like to save some teams just because, but yeah, I mean, you could get Mike Washington in the 200s for May till August. You know? Why are you touching the back of your head so much? I don't know. I just do that when I'm thinking. I see other chess players do it too. Yeah, there's a way to think of it. Remember, people, for all your dead Genty teams just means your non-Genty teams have easier pods. Thank you, Troy. 200 likes will cure Genty. 300 will make them stronger. Yeah. Jefferson went at 6. Don't think that's crazy at all. Think you could take anyone at the 6. Let's do JT today. Gonna try to build a team that's not so wide receiver weak. I don't think the Genty injury, I mean, maybe it benefits Bowers a little bit, but it's probably neutral. Genty at 30 of my current BBM. Yeah, again, 3-4. I'm expecting him to fall way further than the 3-4. If Genty's out a month, he'll probably fall to like the Brees range. It is serious. Okay, obviously not. We're not doing Genty. Let's do AJ Brown today. No, let's do George Pickens. Faked ya. Confirmed torn ACL is what someone said. I don't know if that's true. I'm not seeing that. So, guys, don't joke. Tell me where the tweet is if you saw it, and I'll look it up. And make sure you check the account that it has more than like 1,000 followers. You will get banned from the chat if you're just trying to make people panic. Talking to you, Brad. Ricky Scoops season. Come on, man. Come on. That's not true. That got some people just post things that they think are likely to happen so that when the likely thing does occur, people are like, oh my God, they know the truth. 106, I got you, Balzac. I'll do it at the end. It was just a warning, Brad. Just a warning. I don't think you were trying to be nefarious. This is too early to be taking him, obviously. You know, this is a good time to draft too. Like some people are like, oh, I don't want to draft right now. You have to realize some of your pods, most of your pods are going to be 11 out of 12 advance if people are taking a dead Genty. You know? I think you're being a victim of the moment. Players get hurt in fantasy football every year. And possibly these guys are all on peptides and that's doing weird things. I don't know. Like that's in the range of outcomes. Yeah. Just drafting right now, not taking Genty. Exactly. It's probably a good time to get some volume in. Okay. Let's go Kyron, and we're going to pass on Josh if he's there. We can't go Josh every time. If it's very bad for Mike Washington, I mean for Genty, I'll put Washington around the Bucky, Henderson, Price, Judkins tier of running backs. That's not as high as I want to take him though in drafts today. That's where I would rank him if Genty's out for the year. I want to take him cheaper than that, right? I don't want to take him where he's going. Yeah, I could see James Conner. Okay, so Ibuka. Tet's a good pick too. Let's do Ibuka. Players like Ibuka, how I treat it is don't want to draft him in every draft. Because he's got this toe injury. But reportedly he's going to play week 1, so I will still take him sometimes. Relax, dude. I know that the mental health is low for everyone. You don't got to come in here shooting your guns. Yeah, no, I said this earlier. I think Tyrone Tracy to the Raiders could be a thing. It looks like Devin Singletary to the Raiders could be a thing. Okay, and your band. Goodbye. Guy was being a weirdo. Goes for everyone. You do not have a permission on my channel to just be a weirdo in the chat. I mean, I think the upside of Ibuka is hard to ignore. Not a whole lot that can hold him back from being a smash if he's a full-time guy and healthy. Don't ban a lot of people on this channel, but that guy said he was a border control agent and he gets to shoot people. So goodbye. Yes, Trey Benson. That's another one. Let me know, guys. Who else do you think could land with the Raiders if this is serious? Let's do Watson. I like Watson. Absolutely, but he's going to fall way past the late second. On the off chance Genty is good to go at some point, people taking him late second going to have a great steal. That's why I think he is okay to draft sometimes in the third, fourth, fifth. But the longer it waits, and it, if you made me guess today, I would guess he's done. Let me put it that way. If you made me guess. Wow. I got to stream on Sundays more often. 600 live viewers? Let's go, guys. Help me out. We're almost at 9K subs. I'm sure footage will get out. Yeah, James Conner to the Raiders. Vidal, no, I don't think so. Sean Tucker, no, I don't think so. What I mean by I don't think so is I don't think the teams will let him go. Jeremy McNichols? I guess. I mean, every player is just going to go up a spot. Am I tanking clocks on my slows to get more informed? No, I will not. I like Travion's upside. Taylor, Kyron, Travion, Pickens, Igbuka, Watson. I think Brian Thomas is a good pick there too. It's kind of like, where do you want the upside more? I'm a little bit worried that the Giants just make Tracy play special teams. No, I don't think these guys will get cut. Yeah, this is wrong. It's like people have to realize that Bucky is kind of the line. Bucky, Price, Judkins, these guys are all projected to be the RB1s of their own team. So why would Raiders running back go ahead of them? Roshan Johnson? Yeah. You can only sub to a channel once. If you do it twice, I think it unsubs. DJ Giddens? Probably not. Yeah, I mean, I think the way some people will think about it is they'll think that, well, Mike Washington has no competition, whereas Price has got eventually Charbonnet, and Irving's got Gainwell. But Judkins doesn't really have competition. Passing down, sure. Never mind. Don't rate my team this time. It's disgusting. Jefferson, Hampton, Hall, Loveland, Moore, Caleb Williams. I don't think it's that bad. Ian Wheeler. I think he's on the Bills right now, of Hard Knocks fame. You're allowed to unretire. On DraftKings, players are going to go way later on this type of stuff. Like, for example, Jordan Tyson, Mekhi Lemon. These guys go way later on DraftKings. I think I'll go Dak here. Dak paired with Pickens on this side of the board is rare, right? Most of the Dak and Pickens teams is on this side of the board. So basically, like, instead of having a Dak Pickens, Bijan, Dak Pickens, Chase, Dak Pickens, Gibbs, I got Dak Pickens, Jonathan Taylor. So I got a 1v1 on those teams in the best ball playoffs and finals if all of us get to the finals, and Dak and Pickens is the key to winning, right? I haven't drafted Michael Wilson in a minute just because I got Diggs ranked ahead of him. Probably a spot I want to start mixing it in a little bit. Team right now is Dak, Taylor, Kyron, Henderson, Pickens, Igbuka, Watson, Diggs. I think early on in the summer, the Josh Allen teams felt better when you could get Parker Washington late and some other guys, cheap Diggs. They don't feel as good now, the expensive Josh Allen teams. No, in no way do I think Bucky Irving gets traded. Reported for what? First round stand on Taylor makes sense to me. Obviously, a player with immense upside. I'm not personally doing that, but, a good player to do it with. I don't think Okay, another weirdo in the chat. The byproduct of getting bigger is we got more weirdos in the chat. Sign we're growing. I think going Taylor at pick 4 and just jamming that is you're being very risky. Like you have mega upside, especially if you're not doing a bunch of drafts, but it is risky. Mike Washington went pick 98 in this one. Look, you're allowed to be a certain type of weird, but just hateful weird or incel weird, not so much. No, he did not. Unless he did. No, he did not. Again, people are asking, Mike Washington, I think where he would end up if Genty was seriously hurt is around price Bucky, Judkins, Henderson. The goal is not to take him there right away, but yeah. Yeah. Still like Krosky Merritt? Yeah, for sure. Weirdos feel safer on the internet. There's good weird and bad weird. Like I like good weird. Someone who has like a passion for crocheting or chess. That's good weird. Someone who says hateful weirdo things. Bad weird. You guys know. This is an addiction for Davis. I'll have to talk about this with him next time, but he is the number one. Like this guy's going up, this guy's going down. No, of course, Washington is going to be the RB1 if Genty is done. I do not crochet, but not against crocheting. So Jordan Love makes sense here. Also got Baker maybe the next round. I'm going to do Concepcion and pass on it. I don't have a ton of Concepcion, so type of guy I'd want to draft now. He was going in the 120s for the most of the season, so it's barely a difference. I have not watched the Flock League video yet. It's 2 hours, so like I'm going to set aside some time this upcoming week. Watch that, get a reaction video out. FFPC is also where players will rock it up. It's probably, it's a redraft mindset of like, oh, this guy's a value. Let me jam him up. Who have you cooled off on the most compared to the beginning of the summer? Christian Kirk is hurt. I'm a little bit more speculative of Rashee Rice. Still draft him. I'm a little worried about Josh Jacobs. Never was really jamming him though. I have never read Meditations. I know Davis is a big advocate for it though, and Others by Marcus Aurelius. My favorite last quarterback is, without a question, Mendoza. Dang. Was that even stacked? No, wasn't. All right. I think Shuck's just a good value here. I don't think he should have fallen so much because Tyson got hurt. Tyson went 101 in this one. Genty went 20th. Mike Washington went 98. Yeah, I mean, what's doubly funny about the Baker pick is this guy has Travis Etienne, so he could have taken Shuck to stack with Etienne. That's what I would do. I do try to stack most lineups. Easiest path to winning. Helps differentiate your bets too. You know what? I'm not going to get Juwan on the wrap probably. So I like Ferguson more, but to get a stack in, I'll just take Shuck now. How many players in a stack is too much? Really depends on the cost of it. No right or wrong answer there. It's okay to just do a skinny stack, one player. It's okay to onslaught stack on occasion as well. Yeah, that's not great. Without that detail, though, I do think people would be a lot more optimistic. Of course, unstacked teams can win. You know, I won BBM2. I had a Josh Allen, Cole Beasley team. I didn't win because I had Cole Beasley, you know? Okay, let's see. Any more recent news on Genty? Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. I don't think we'll get anything for a while. I think Cowboys RB2 is a mess right now. All of the guys are draftable. Of course, most of the Genty teams are drawing very thin. Don't know why you need me to admit that. Do you think that would not be my stance? Man, these AJ Dillon people. I mean, honestly, you could be right. Maybe AJ Dillon ends up a Raider. Okay. Yeah, let's do Tajay. Fifth and final running back. Well, it is true. You can still take down a contest with a 0. Is it harder to win without him being a 0? Of course, it's more harder to win. Can you still win? Yes. What percentage do you currently have of Genty? 11% in BBM. I think lower in the high stakes, so it's not going to be season altering for me. It's a bummer, you know. My best team could be a Genty team for all I know. In the end, think we'll cut the tie towards Flournoy here to stack with Dak. I mean, the Raiders will 100% sign another running back or trade for one if he's out for the year. Even if he's not, they will. I already have Bowers ahead of ranks. He's not moving for me on the ranks because Dylan Lobby, pass catching guy, Agumbalale, pass catching guy. I don't know anything about Roman Hemby. Kind of like a stockier, slow guy. If he's actually out for the season, doesn't that hurt Bowers? Genty is a wagon. They don't have as much time of possession, first downs. Defenses can focus on Bowers with no run game threat. I mean, at the end of the day, running backs don't matter that much for winning. You know, like, I promise you, if Genty goes down for the season, the win total for the Raiders is at most going to move 1 win or half a win over the course of 17 games. Right? Just the truth, Pat Bryant. So it's a bummer that he gets hurt. But if the Raiders are not going to be impacted that much for winning, well, then, Bowers probably isn't impacted that much either. And if you cannot count on dumping the ball off to Genty to move the ball, maybe Bowers gets more of that work. It's the time of month. August is the biggest time to be streaming fantasy football drafts. I lowered Jaden Blue a lot in my ranks. I mean, you can laugh at that guy all you want, but I don't think it was that crazy for someone to take Genty at 101 in redraft. Like, if you want Genty and you got the first pick, you were never going to get him at the turn, right? So if you really want to take the guy, just take him. Let's take Vele. Stacks with Shuck. And I'm going to end this with 2 tight ends. Taylor Pickens, Kyron Igbuka, Watson, Henderson, Prescott, Diggs, Krosky, Concepcion, Shuck, Juwan, Spears, Flournoy, Bryant, Vele. Yeah. But I think it's just not really clear Cowboys RB2. What's wrong with Jaden Blue? Reports range from anywhere that he might not make the team to he's not the RB2. Exactly. If he isn't coming back, it isn't was there better ways to do it? Yeah. The guy could have taken Gibbs and then traded that for Genty. You should join my Discord too. I always tag the Discord when serious injuries drop so that people are aware. I personally think Jaden Blue will still have a role, but yeah, I don't know. Of course, Bowers could be a tight end premium monster. I know I definitely have some early drafted 5.55s with Mike Washington. I don't think I have as much in the low stakes stuff. But I just knew he'd be on the team. Yeah. This 5.55 I'm looking at, the second one I drafted, I took Mike Washington in the 19th round. So got some in the high stakes. Obviously, you're going all in, but I think I like the player personally. I don't like him so much more than everyone. I'm going to have 40% personally. But it's easy to see it paying off for you. One big week 15, and you can get a lot of teams to the semifinals. Okay. Let's get some tight ends on the squad. Let's do Mike Gesicki today. Former Best Ball Mania champion. I'm tempted to do Noah Fant. Maybe the Saints run more 12 personnel. Okay. I'm going to let this tick down. I'm going to run to the bathroom, and we're going to do another draft. Okay. The team finished up. I took Njoku. I think Njoku is a high upside player who has downside in his range of outcomes, but as a second tight end, I'm okay risking the downside for the upside. So the team finishes up Dak and Shuck, Taylor, Kyron, Henderson, Krosky, Merritt, Spears, Pickens, Ibuka, Watson, Diggs, Concepcion, Flournoy, Bryant, Vele, Juwan, Kasicki, Njoku. Not a ton of Week 17 correlation, but a good team nonetheless. And with that, we are going to jump over to DraftKings and draft a team there. See how the market reacts there. Drafting from the 107. No, Gatson is not 100% dead. He's a player I want to take shots on late in drafts too. No, I just had 600 people chilling out watching the share. I don't see Sean Tucker has a role on the Bucks. He's their short yardage, explosive guy. So I don't see them trading him. Yes, I still draft the Brian Robinson guys. I mean, if anything, the Genti injury shows you proof of concept. These types of guys become the most valuable guys potentially in the whole player pool with one injury. You know, Bijan goes down, Brian Robinson is rocketing up the board. I'll go with no. In the case that any player is drawn thin to be on the winning team. Ibuka news last I saw, he's gonna play week 1. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll rate it right now. Okay, your team is Caleb and Herbert, good quarterback room. Then you took Ashton Genti 6 times at running back. That's not advised. No, I'm kidding. You went Hampton, Brees Hall, Pollard. I don't like Pollard, but ADP dip. Lloyd, who I like. Ray Davis, who I like. Low owned Jalen Wright. So running back room's decent. Not my favorite group of guys, but on paper it's okay. Jefferson, DJ Moore, Pittman, Worthy, Shaheed, Trey Harris, Adonai Mitchell, Jalen Noel, and then Loveland and Kelsey. Yeah, I don't know. This feels a little thin at both running back and wide receiver, but conceivably, you got the pieces there. 6.5 out of 10. Why would one injury? Just asking. Like, obviously, what you want me to say is yes, but I'm asking you, why would an injury to an individual player cause a different player to jump a round of ADP? I'm going to guess that you've drafted a lot of Kyron and you want him to go up in price. But I just logically that doesn't make any sense. Like we're just gonna take out Genti and put in Kyron in that spot. Kyron has nothing to do with Genti, other than the fact he's going to go up one spot on the board. Maybe I should just go in and delete Genty from the ranks right now. Maybe I'll do that after the stream. I mean, hey, Kyron went in the second here, so maybe you're onto something. To me, the only thing that should happen is every player goes up one spot. Yeah, if it's a scarcity question, maybe you're right. Maybe the running back scarcity gets felt even more with Genty gone. I could see that for sure happening. We know that drafters want to start RBRB. I don't think it's correct that they're going to do that, but maybe you're right. Maybe that will happen. What price would you not pass on Genty? I'd be willing to take him in some drafts, 4th round, 3rd round, most likely 4th though, just in case we get positive news tomorrow. But I'm not willing to do that often. Yeah, maybe with all the running back heavy Simbros and everything, maybe you're right. Maybe I didn't think about that enough. I already moved Kyron up the ranks, but Kyron over Olave, London, I don't know about that. I think it's neutral for Bowers. If you're not a sub to beatbestball.com, now is the best time of year to sign up. $100 for the year covers you for 365 days. So that would give you best ball ranks all next year as well. Basically at 2 seasons. Pushed out updated ranks this week like 5 times. So I stay on top of the news and I'm early, my ranks 2 weeks ago were aggressive to the double tight end. My weeks 2 weeks ago were aggressive on Cyrus Allen, Pat Bryant, Jacoby Lane. And I'm not saying that these guys are all going to be hits, but it certainly feels really good to have a lot of those guys as 18, 19, 20th round picks. Like those are the best teams in the portfolio. Marshawn Lloyd. So yeah, I'm typically very good at adjusting to the news. Yeah, the thing about Kyron is it's hard to shake from your memory that he was just in a 50-50 split with Blake Corum for the rushing workload. Exactly, man. Life's about perspective. 87% of your teams are marked safe. I don't really think Aaron Jones is a potential trade candidate because why would the Vikings be willing to go down to only Jordan Mason unless they think Claiborne is that guy? I mean, this should be somewhat obvious, but if Tootin and Rodriguez will split runs, why is Tootin ranked so much higher? Well, number one, we don't fully know what will happen there. And number two, the market's just gotten better at pricing upside. Tootin has league-winning upside in his portfolio in the sense that he's super explosive and fast. If you want to use the Chase Brown, Zach Moss allegory, that's what it is, Sorry, Copa. Join the Discord. I always at everyone on serious injuries when I see them. Yeah, I think it's fine to take Kyron just for uniqueness, but if the market's just going to do this, I think that's bad. Let's get ETN. We know DK can be pretty running back thirsty. So weird squad. Amon-Ra, Bowers, McBride, ETN. Always stopping at 2 tight ends when I go Bowers and McBride. They play each other week 17, so that's nice. Guys like Aaron Jones, except like maybe at the trade deadline, they could be traded. Yeah, I mean, still possible. The Raiders are a terrible team. Quite likely, actually. This is just so fun. Especially like there's no good reason for McBride to fall so far in drafts other than people are just like, no, Cardinals suck. They have a dream week 17 matchup against the Raiders. Trey Tucker, larger share of offense, I think. Probably not, guys. Like an injury to a running back probably does not shift the run pass philosophy 15%. This is what we call shiny new toy syndrome. Mike Washington going in front of Price in the last 2 drafts. Yeah, that's just shiny new toy, right? Ultimately, people are tired, man. They've been drafting teams forever. If they're trying to 150 max it, they're tired. And so, wow, I get my choice today. Let's do Washington today because I've been seeing Mike Evans fall. He also, I think he left practice again today, so I might have to finally lower him if that is true. We'll find out tomorrow on that. Seems like he had a great practice yesterday, so I was excited, and then it was like today, it was like, yeah, he took off his pads again. Yes. When Cam Akers tore his Achilles, Darrell Henderson was a terrible pick, but that had more to do with Darrell Henderson, the player. No, this is not what people just think the Cardinals suck. It's not a big, deep thing. Mike Evans goes 61, so didn't get him. Hope Big Mike is okay. Probably is, but that would certainly sting for my teams. Another year of that. Okay. Happily go Henderson. Adds a lot of juice to the running back room. Let's read the latest on Mike Evans. He took off his pads. Mike Evans took part in much of the practice, but didn't go all the way through it. He stopped towards the end after running a deep route on a play that went to Jake Tonges. He seemed to be moving fine, but clear he and the Niners want to be cautious to get him to the regular season ready to go. Yeah, so you could you just got to be careful what you read. This gives a measured quote from Nick Wagner, who I'm going to assume is a reporter. And then this one is obviously hunting more clickbait. Mike Evans took off his pads, appearing frustrated. Could be injury related. That seems a little bit more dire than this measured take. Let's see. This guy is for the ESPN. Yeah. So he doesn't say anything about injuries. Leaves early, precautionary. So, yeah, they're just being cautious with him. I don't think he's had 3 injuries as much as it's like, if there's any tightness at all, get out of there, dude. We'll see you week 1. Yes, Cardinals Raiders is one of my favorite games. Okay, so Mike Washington goes here. I was going to take him at 79, where DK's more reactionary. Again, I'll have him ranked 5-6 turn if the injury is serious. So people are ready to jump the shark, though. Okay, we get Brian Thomas, though. That's pretty nice. He'll randomly fall on these. I mean, I don't think Davis is wrong for that. Genty is undraftable now. Like, most likely, he's trending towards being a 0. I just want to have a team or 2 with him at a cheap price if I can get it. So, if you want to be more cautious, yes. If Mike Washington starts out strong, would you sell high? Depends how he looks, honestly. But probably because he plays the Dolphins week 1. Plays Dolphins, Chargers, Saints, Chiefs. Pretty nice schedule. Yeah, I don't think it's crazy to take him out of your ranks. Genty, that is. Do you feel comfortable starting both Parker Washington and Brian Thomas Jr.? To be clear, this is a best ball draft, so I don't have to start anyone. It will put in the highest scoring players for me. I would probably not want both of them in managed. Yeah, I mean, okay, DK's a crazy place. Someone took him in the 2nd round. Yeah, I probably won't update the ranks and just, I've put the word out to everyone. I won't update it tonight. Or maybe I'll just delete them and then repost it. Now, there is a chance that Trevor just wraps around and running back gets kind of dire. You know what? I'm going to gamble it tonight. We'll go Rico. I got Goff as a backstop. No one should take Trevor. Someone probably will, but squad right now is Amon-Ra, Washington Thomas, Bowers, McBride, Etienne, Henderson, Dowdle. It is, but Trevor's like kind of a terrible guy to backstack. There's options. You could do Travis Hunter. You could do Myers. You could do Strange, but people just prefer not to do that. Yes, I'm always stopping at 2 tight end with Bowers and McBride. Team's pretty thin at wide receiver too, so I'm not even that bummed if I missed on Trevor. Wouldn't it make sense to put Washington at the 1-2 turn? Good question, and no. Let's talk about why. He's not as good as Genty is like the sum of it. But yeah, it's like a big mistake to just think like, oh, well, Genty was going there, so why would his backup not? Number one, Tootin drafter takes Trevor. That makes sense. Number one, you're making a huge assumption about how much work Mike Washington can take. First off, he's a rookie. Wow, don't get Goff either. We played with fire and we got burned. You know who's backstackable though? Purdy. Maybe actually, Stribling went. So not in this one. Don't care. I like Purdy anyways. But yeah, like Mike Washington, probably not as good as Genty, who's like supposed to be near generational. He was like a 4th round rookie pick. He's far more likely to share the load more. So no, there's so many reasons he doesn't go at the 1-2 turn. Yeah, I already thought that Genty was a risky pick. Like, I think he had silent killer outcomes. I think I tweeted that out too. Maybe I just said it on stream a bunch. Yeah, I don't know if. Oh, yeah, here's what I said. Genty has sneaky downside silent killer type of player, is firmly in his range of outcomes. Just because I thought that there's a big chance that the Raiders O-line sucks again, team's not as good again, and if you're taking a player at the 1-2 turn and they average 13 points a game, 15 points a game, that is not enough. Obviously, we won't see that if he's out for the year, though. At the end of the day, folks, you just got to remember you only need one team to make a good year. So if you got a lot of Genty, you got different teams without him. Wow, big fall for Krosky Merritt on the Q tag. I will take him. Figure out quarterback later. I already thought that Love is going to be the better player than Genty. I think Love is just way more explosive and a better pass catcher. I'm really hoping we see a fully healthy Love season aside from his ankle injury right now. Yeah, the Genty big season was always going to be through him getting the full workload and a bunch of PPR dump offs. Let's see if Mike Washington is on the board in some of these eliminator slows I'm doing. This one, no. Okay. Just took Mike Washington in the 12th round. That was a pit bull, though. This one, no. This one, no. Then it's like the question is like, do I take him in the 100? Yeah, I do, I think. Over Aaron Jones? Sure. I'll make those picks later, though. I got time to think about it. I mean, where does Genty go next year is the real question. Way too early to say. That's where I think he'll end up, is ahead of Stevenson. I'm personally not going to try to draft a player. Like, I guess the market's going to be more enthusiastic about this. They're going to just try to throw him. Honestly, after ETN, there's some warts on all these guys. Earliest you should be taking Washington. I think I'll have him ranked at the 5-6 turn, near Bucky, Price, Judkins. But typically it takes time for a player to actually rise in the ranks. If today's any indication, maybe that's not true. Maybe he's going to rock it up. Okay, Shuck stacked with ETN. Feels good. 2 week 8 buys, so probably try to tack a third quarterback on here. It's weak at wide receiver, but Amon-Ra and Washington averaging 20 points per game each. Going to hold me down there. Three, 4 turn is where I'd want to go. If you want to get like a Genty team with a Chase, Bijan Gibbs, go ahead. But yeah, 3, 4 turn is where I'd start considering risking my lineup. What makes you say Genty is better than Washington? I'm not answering that. I did not. Genty went pick 24. If you're looking for some optimism on it, sorry, I don't have that for you right now. Other than it's too early for anyone to exactly know what happened. Don't. Is this a Tyson team? No, this team needs some points early. So Tyson is the fun thing, but he goes so late on DK, guys. I got him in the 150s. He goes in the 170s. Washington went pick 75 in this one. I got him in the 100s on the Best Ball Mania I was doing. What makes you say Michael Jordan, the basketball player, is better than Michael Jordan, the actor at basketball? Oh, yeah. Stashing Tyson in ESPN, that seems good. I don't have a huge bag of Mike Washington. I typically prefer my handcuffs to be on teams I think are better. But I got some, of course. But I'm not like, oh, yes, I have 20% Mike Washington because I don't. We'll see what happens to this turn of running backs, but I mean, could be a survival of the fittest. Saquon and Henry up there in age, Achane not the biggest guy, so who knows what could happen. I mean, what does decent mean? They're going to sign another running back. Another good reason to have week 17 correlation. Probably something I should have done myself more. He says, only reason I have a lot of Washingtons because I have so many pieces of Arizona, right? That's the exact way to do it, where you were drafting a team. Why not get them stacked for week 17? Okay. I need to remember that there's like a little bit of lag and I need to do that earlier. Denzel Boston, a little bit less hype for Boston as of late, but still a good pick. If Gentry's out only 4 weeks, probably the 4th round. Maybe 3, 4. 4 weeks is a lot. So another quarterback, some wideouts, some more running backs. I like the team. I am happy I went Dowdle over Lawrence. Like, it didn't work out this time, but it's fine. Good job. Getting close, man. This is something like 105 for me or whatever. We've seen a lot of fast running backs fail, but this is a little bit of survivorship bias where, let's say someone has a bunch of Mike Washington and he's a good pick this year, which, maybe happens, maybe doesn't. Someone's going to fool themselves into thinking they are the best drafter of all time and ignore that, they ran really well for a Gentry injury if it's serious. I'm going to take Mendoza here. Secures the week 17 game stack that could win contest this year. Mendoza, Bowers, McBride. Probably, but I just don't know anything about the NBA, and the NFL has a lot of money in all their contests all year round. Also, I took the offseason pretty light this year. I only did 6 big boards. I mean, this is insane. Yeah, injuries suck. Yeah, this is why I've been a proponent of saying that In different years, we will see different prices on the handcuff guys. So some years, the market just chooses one, Alexander Madison, and they're like, yeah, this guy's a 10th round pick, despite his range of outcomes being no different than Ray Davis. And so, yeah, the handcuffs, they're most likely zeros. But when you're building a zero running back team, mixing some of those guys in and hoping to hit Yahtzee from an injury is how you can build a super team. If I could only take one of the wide receivers taken in round 10, which one would you choose? We'll go to round 10 of this draft. Of this group of guys, I would say Concepcion. First round rookie, getting a lot of buzz. Hemby worth taking round 20? Yeah, I mean, anyone is defensible there. Would have liked Mike Washington on this team to pair with Mendoza. Is what it is, though. AJ Brown or Brock Bowers? I'm Bowers there. Let's see. Take Travis Hunter. Do you take late round flyers on talent alone as flyers, or do you care more about situation? Honestly, I care about both, but I would say I probably care about situation a little bit more, unless it's like a one-off where I'm just really confident the guy is talented. It's a mix, honestly, thinking through my ranks now. But when the two meet each other, that's the dream. Again, I mean, you could say whatever you want right now. I always find this annoying in fantasy football where people are like last year, Travis Hunter seemed like he was on the way to breaking out. And then people were like, no, he wasn't. And then he got hurt, so you can't prove it. So if you want to just tell yourself, yeah, Mike Washington, he was going to play 50% of the snaps, and he was the best pick irregardless of injury. Okay, nothing I can do to convince you otherwise. Genty got hurt, so we won't see that, most likely. Great stream with Ron and Jacob. Team turned out nice. Yeah, feeling for Jacob right now. I know he liked Genty a lot. Don't know if I'm going to end up with a stack for Purdy. Let's go Trey Harris today. Are you just like doing your managed league draft right now? Firing off the decisions? They're close. You got to choose your favorite there. Bryson Smith. I don't like that. I think that's too early for Genty, but what are you going to do? I like Pickens and Lamb a lot. I don't think in a healthy season Pickens outscores Lamb, but that's not what I care about. I care about will Pickens have some huge games, and I think he will. No, we don't actually know how long Genty is out for yet. Yes. Any Kittle team, I would want a third tight end on. Probably like 2. I don't have that many going, thankfully. Is Lad this year's JSN? I recently raised him a little bit in the ranks. I see it a little bit because like the way JSN melted faces was downfield. So I think Lad and Flowers, Igbuka, all these guys can win downfield, but like here's the truth. There is no this year's JSN. I don't have as much Lad this year in best ball. Kind of a scary fade because I like the Chargers, but yeah, I just don't. This year's JSN is Colson Loveland? Maybe. Gonna take Kalen Black here. A stack with Purdy. You got it, Zach. I think people have a wrong read on me. I'm typically pretty level headed and sensitive to others' feelings. I like Garrett Wilson. Offense is probably not good enough for that to be the case, but they looked good in the preseason. Let's not do this. You know, there's just a time and place for this. You don't, when the guy gets hurt for potentially the year, it's not the time to be like, he was always a terrible pick. Come on, man. There's a fine line because fantasy football, you should be like with your buddies in your home league. Yeah, you should call your friend a dumbass, right? Because that's what friends do. But here, they're not your friends. You don't know each other. You're just kind of spreading misery when you do that. Know what I mean? Okay, squad is Purdy, ETN, Henderson, Amon-Ra, Washington, Thomas, Bowers, McBride, Dowdle, Krosky, Mara, Shuck, Shaheed, Boston, Mendoza, Travis Hunter, Trey Harris, Kalen Black. So I got Purdy and Black stacked. I got Shuck and ETN stacked. Probably take one more running back. You know what? First, Najee Harris team. If Tracy is truly going to 0, Najee's kind of has to play. Kind of has to, right? And if he's playing that much, or if Scadabo's not playing a lot, who I never take, Najee could have a 12-point per game season. I don't think we have hard information on the Igbuka injury. Pretty sure Isaiah Williams is now again behind Omar Cooper. Yes, Tracy trade candidate for sure. People were speculating maybe the Lions, but obviously the Raiders might swoop in. He could be their RB1. He could send Mike Washington to 0, you know? The NFL is young. The year has not started. There's room for things to shake up. Tracy is not a 0. He has plot armor. Honestly, he's got like 1,000 yards combined off of multiple seasons. Ask me this on another stream, Nathaniel. We're winding this one down, and I'm tired. Why don't people do the sit and go drafts compared to tournaments? Well, a problem with best ball already is your money is tied up from May until February, and your reward for winning a sit and go is not a lot compared to a tournament. So some people do that. And back in the day, that's all people had to grind. They would put a lot of action into that. But why would you try to turn $5 into 15 when you can try to turn it into 100,000? That's how most people think about it. Yeah, so it's going to end this with 2 wide receivers. Maybe I should have taken Vele over Trey Harris. I have a hard time doing that still, but it was defensible to do. I'm going to take DeMarcus Robinson to stack with Purdy today. I have a ton of Christian Kirk. I don't know what the deal is with Kirk. I still like his upside. He's probably a dog to make the team because he's just not practiced at all. So DeMarcus Robinson is potentially the wide receiver 3. Not my favorite click in the world, but it's a stack. He did have one big game last year in week 18 or week 19. The real NFL playoffs. He went 6-7 and 111. I mean, that's the real NFL playoffs we're talking about. My article that I posted on beatbestball.com talks about players like DeMarcus Robinson versus some other late round bets and like the difference in them and how you should, I don't know, might just have to finish them on my phone. Nope, we're good. And how you should think through the type of bets you're making. Bryce Lance, yeah, he's draftable too. You know what? Fine. I have Bryce Lance ranked. He's a rookie. That's the fun part about DK having 20 rounds. Yes, and it's a reminder that a lot of these guys that go in the 19th and 20th round, they almost never get drafted on underdog 18 rounds, and that's incorrect because the difference between like a 17th round pick and a 20th round pick is negligible. I didn't know Sean Tucker was playing the 4th quarter, but that could have just been because the team is light at wide receiver. So yeah, Bryce Lance I view as differently. He is an upside bet. He's a rookie, but unlikely to be anything. But hey, it stacks with Shuck. Okay, so the team finishes up. Amon-Ra, Bowers, McBride, Etienne, Washington, Henderson, Thomas, Dowdle, Purdy, Krosky, Merritt, Shuck, Shaheed, Boston, Mendoza, Hunter, Trey Harris, Kalen Black, Najee Harris, DeMarcus Robinson, and Bryce Lance. Ultimately needs Bowers and McBride to be awesome. Needs Amon-Ra and Washington to hold it down at wideout. And then it needs Etienne, Henderson, Dowdle, Krosky, Merritt. Like 2 of these guys at least have to be decent sized hits. Going to sneeze. Sorry. Woo. Okay, folks. That's what I got for you today. BeatBestBall.com for your ranks. Hopefully we get some positive news on Genty tomorrow, but too early to say on that. Have a wonderful night.